Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across they are really short videos, but I thought I'd bring them here because I have been talking so much, a lot on Black unity, Black love, Black elevation, upholding one another, being there for one another, forgiving one another, because it looks like we are holding back so much. We've probably been hurt so much that be in one another because the men are saying the women hurt them, the women are saying the men hurt them. And I cannot come and sit here and start asking what happened, but the only thing I'm asking is that we all come back and unite as one and fight what is fighting us, because there is no how we are going to achieve anything if we are divided. Division is not something we need, but we need unity to stand and be able to pull through. You all already know how much these people know that how strong we are. They decided, because I am not going to lie, Black men were the people they struck first, and they got them. And then before we know what it's going on, it's been from one any place you put your head, somebody is having a podcast, being mean, using some words that they are not supposed to use, right? So I am preaching Black unity, Black love, Black strength. And I see a lot of people supporting Trump, Black people. And I am going to ask you, I am not going to tell you to support this person or the other person, but I really hope you are not hurting yourself and your community at the same time. Let's get into.
Forever Trumpers, let me talk to you for a minute. The fact that you all are now changing course to try to convince the rest of us that you are not deplorable, despicable, unhinged, racist, homophobic, transphobic, problematic individuals who willingly are choosing to stand on the wrong side of history and individualize yourselves down to a microcosm because you value race over content of character is moot. You're only doing this because you have noticed what we all have noticed for far too long, but you're noticing this because the iceberg has finally hit your Titanic, Trump, and you see him sinking. And you don't know who's picking up the baton for him because you all were holding out that this nearly octogenarian would stay in power long enough for Barron Trump to take up where he left off, as if there are no other children. But I digress. You are the same people that applaud Putin. You are the same people that majoritively have agreed with the mustached muskrat from Deutschland. So all of this coming out saying we're not racist, we're not this, we're not that, we're voting on facts. You're not trying to convince the rest of us, you're trying to convince yourself. You realize that your digital footprint is forever. And you are afraid that unlike your lineage, you can't hide behind history moving forward and not being named in a photo in a newspaper or a magazine because you've gotten older and your features have changed slightly, or you're not as active publicly anymore. You will be forever tied to your words, your actions, and your choices. Instead of putting your energy in trying to run PR for yourself and the monicum of people you've built community with, because although you all are united in script, you're divided in community. Maybe put that energy into deconstructing and being better people and finally, for once, standing on the right side of history. Otherwise, stop touting the World War I and II vets in your family because they fought against what you're willfully embracing and trying to gaslight the rest of us out of seeing. And for those of you all fighting to prove your intelligence while backing someone who never did a lick of work for themselves, has no idea how the government, toilets, or anything else works, are you truly intellectually sound?
If you don't allow the supremacists to sit at the table, control who else sits at the table, control what utensils we use at the table, control who cooks the food we eat, control what room we eat the food in, control who owns the building we eating in, control which table we eating at, control what food we eating, control how long we eat the food, then the enemy burns down the table. But the enemy can only do this if we are divided. The enemy is not strong enough nor powerful enough to do this with a united community, which is why the enemy had to destroy our image, had to destroy our perception of ourselves, had to destroy everything we hold dear, our identity, had to destroy everything about us in order to conquer us. So that's why it's important and mandatory for all of you to make sure, if you are a black man, that you are overly kind to black women. If you are a black woman, you are overly kind to black men. I understand there are brothers and sisters that are too far gone. There are brothers and sisters that have sold out. There are brothers and sisters that are down on their knees and refuse to stand up. There are brothers and sisters that are down on their knees, sucking massa off so deeply that massa think the war is over. But the war ain't never over, because we God's children. And as long as we draw a breath, there is always opportunity to change the tide. Brothers, when you have a bad interaction with a terrible sister, keep in mind there's 100 more right around the corner that are great just like you. Sisters, keep in mind when you have a bad interaction with a terrible brother, there's another 100 brothers right around the corner waiting on you. We cannot afford to allow an evil, devilish enemy to control the perception we have on ourselves. If you are pro-black, that means you are pro-black man, pro-black woman, pro-black child. That means you must live in a pro-black fashion. I give critique where critique is needed, because accountability is needed on both external forces and the internal forces that we are at war with, that are holding this community back and keeping our crowns from us. I understand the ratchet dysfunction is fun, but the ratchet dysfunction is harmful, degrading, and holding this community back. Check this out, y'all. So a brother walks up to me. He said, "You Moses Kane, right?" I said, "Yeah." He say, "Brother, I dig your content, but the sisters, brother," he said, "the sisters, they don't like us. They don't fuck with us. They do not want us." I said, "You a goddamn lie." I said, "Black women always fuck with me." I say, "Brother, you got to figure out what about you, much like the sisters that say the same thing, got to figure out what it is about them that makes it to where they can't keep, nor you can't keep, a brother nor a sister." We cannot continue, we cannot afford to keep passing along regurgitated propaganda, or we cannot afford to make our own personal experiences national mass perception. You know the enemies we face. And he's sitting there with his, hand on his chin, thinking about what I'm saying. He said, "Brother, you right. I'm just hurt. I'm hurt because our sisters, they do us so wrong." And I say, "Well, we done did them wrong too. So how can we blame them for being mad at us?" And at that point, we shook hands, we dapped up, and he walked away. The point I'm trying to make here is we have to stop feeding the propaganda. We have to stop feeding the problems. We have to stop feeding the dysfunction, division. We have to stop. This issue that we got in this community doesn't stop unless everybody in the community, and I mean you need to be in the community, everybody in the community needs to go against what the narrative is. If all you doing is contributing to the narrative, contributing to the bad habits, contributing to the dysfunction, contributing to the toxicity, then what do you expect to happen? This is why I talk the way I do. Everywhere I go, I make sure I overly respect, I'm overly polite, I'm overly kind to black and brown people because I understand what has happened historically and currently.
This is all I got from this video, and you all already know how much I've been preaching for unity among us, because that is something that is very, very important at this point in time. You know, they already do know how strong we are together as people. That's why they decided to create division among black men, black women, and all that. And I have been saying this for a longer time, and I don't know how this is going to happen. But we really can do all we can to make sure that we win, because it's for me, it's all about black people, it's all about black love, it's all about black unity. And if there is anything I preach here more than any other thing, I preach unity, I preach love. That we will have, I don't know, but I hope, like, we are able to soften our hearts and our minds, our everything towards one another, to be able to tolerate one another, to be able to be there for one another, to uphold one another, to elevate one another, to make sure that we are our brothers and sisters keepers. I know, a lot has been going on, especially among black men and black women and all that, or let's say black community in general. But there is, I see a lot of people saying that, like they are already done, they have given up and all that. But I am still saying that we do not have to give up on ourselves. Because if we give us on ourselves, it means our ancestors really fought for nothing. So what again do we have? What is keeping us together again? So let's come together. Let's build us again. Let's grow together again. And yeah, moving forward, you all heard about that. The truth is that I don't understand Trumpers. I see a lot of black. I see, like I keep saying, I do not have a problem with people supporting anybody when it comes to politics, because it is your civil right. As a human being, you have that right. But I think we as human beings know what is wrong from what is right. We are old enough to be able to identify what is going to hurt us, our community, and what is not going to hurt our community. Because I don't see how you as a human being, you as an adult, is saying that something is going to hurt you and you are continuing with that. Does it make any sense? Absolutely, it doesn't make any sense. I see a lot of people coming out on the internet bashing one another, being really rude to one another. Why? Because, and it's mostly Trump supporters. I don't know what is wrong with them. But you already can do better. You all can do better. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.